Alright guys, get that one foul hooked. Start off the day with a little trout. We might do a little bit of everything today. No real game plan. May do some red fishing. May do some trout fishing. I'm gonna hit some spots on the way out. May end up all the way out in Lake Bourne. Got another north wind today. Keep getting these late spring fronts. So we're locked to the North Shore again. So we're gonna fish some, areas that are protected on north and northwest winds, which we have today. Starting off at a rock jetty. Got a falling tide. First spot, first trout. All right, baby. Doing something I do not. Look at that fish right there. Look at that pretty red. Doing something I don't normally do this time of year. This is usually bridge and season, trout season. But we keep getting hit with these back-to-back-to-back late fronts, north winds. And as you saw in one of our later episodes just recently, we were just tattooing the redfish on the shorelines in Pontchartrain. And that's not really an area I really catch a ton of reds, but that particular day there was a gazillion there. This is what we've been having all year. This is what we have an abundance of, and I say this all the time. Play the hand you're dealt. Fish for the fish that's in the estuary. So today I'm coming out to Lake Bourne to some of my favorite shorelines that hold these smaller reds, and let's see what we can do with them. Got kind of stained water. We're not going to be sight fishing today. These little ones are hard to see, but I got the matrix spin on there. This is a fabulous search bait, great for redfish. Gonna use that, and if we can locate them, maybe we'll come back and work on them with a popping cork too, like we did in the last episode. All right, whenever you're throwing a spinnerbait, this water's pretty dirty. That's what I like throwing the spinners. Also bouncing a jig like Sam's doing is effective. When that jig's hitting the bottom, it's clicking some dust clouds up, and I'm throwing a spinnerbait. I like to just parallel the bank. 7 out of 10 times the redfish are gonna be relatively close to the shoreline. So I like to be, keep that lure in that strike zone almost at all times, rather than being way off the bank throwing at it and coming out of the strike zone. So I'm throwing the spinner, paralleling the bank. Sam's throwing it. We're kind of combing the area, throwing about 5 feet to 8 feet from one another. He's bouncing the jig on the bottom, and I'm getting that blade to spin real good and get them fish's attention. And we're picking up a few fish in really tough conditions with a lot of west and northwest winds. Very dirty water. We can't sight fish in this, but this is way more effective than trying to target some speckled trout on a day like this today with the west winds. We'll save the easterly wind days for our speckled trout hunt.
Oh man, he hit this jig. You got Chaz fishing the spinnerbait from the shore, and I'm fishing the jig behind him. It's good to get all these corners and points because they're always right behind.
All right, well, we picked off several on the banks here, but it's still kind of slow. I'm gonna go push back in the marsh and let's see if we can find them in some shallower cuts. Maybe some of these smaller reds are up in the cuts more than they are out in this open shoreline today. Although we got a west wind, the tide's not terribly low, so maybe they're a little bit shallower than out in the main lakes like this right here. To our box, our grinded out box. So this is what we were using last episode, the old matrix float, TKO shrimp. We were killing them reds, and today we started out in the lake, checked a little trout spot or two, caught one out there, and then we grinded the Lake Bourne shoreline, caught a little mess of reds. Now we're up in the marsh. And right here, right out the gate, nice trout, beautiful fish. Nice speck, nice trout. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and close it out right there. Did a little bit of everything today. Used the jig to catch a couple trout, reds. Used our matrix spin, which we'll be definitely giving out in our monthly bait box this month to catch some reds on the Bourne shoreline. Finishing the day off with the matrix float, like we did the last episode, killing the reds. Make sure you got all of those in your tackle box. Get them in your arsenal, especially on tough, grinded out days like today. You got all the tools and techniques to put a box of fish together just like we did today. Subscribe to your monthly bait box to get these items, as we'll be sending them out in those bait boxes. So, hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We did a little bit of everything today. Kind of taught you guys how to fish right in the middle of a cold front or right after, which is some of the hardest days. Usually I stay home on days like this, but I hadn't been in a while, and I just was chomping at the bit to go, just like this fish was chomping at the bit to go in our ice chest. Till next time, guys, good fishing.